It's gone way too far.
The worst moments of their lives used to taunt, diminish, and demonize.
This is a form of abuse. It is a form of trauma.
The family of Shanann Watts begs for an end to the constant harassment online.
Just stop. Please just stop.
But how do you hold the faceless accountable? Lawmakers, social media sites, and YouTube personalities weigh in as we go to 360.
They have been through the unthinkable, and yet some people out there refuse to let this family grieve in peace.
It was enough to drive the father of Shanann Watts to fly halfway across the country, stand in front of the home where his daughter and granddaughters were killed, and beg for this harassment to end. And months after Chris Watts was sentenced to life in prison, the family is still being mocked, ridiculed, even threatened.
Shanann Watts murdered in cold blood in her own bed, blamed by online commentators as the true killer of her children. And this is enough to make anyone sick, especially since there is no clear-cut way to stop that cyberbullying, at least not right now.
Tonight, Denver 7's Liz Gilardi is going 360 and asking if it's time for that to change.
Just stop. Please just stop.
A plea directed at online bullies.
We just try to ignore it, but sometimes you just can't ignore it.
Frank Rzucek said he feels like this was the only option to defend his family. In an attempt to quiet the trolls, he also asked Congress and social media companies to step in. So we're taking a 360 look at cyberbullying when it comes to regulation and responsibility.
And people are still speaking about this case. They're still disrespecting the family. They're talking in less than a good way. And for me, you know, I got to tell you, it is such a shocking thing to hear when people continue to talk about crime victims' families. I just got to say, from being a police detective, police officer, and dealing with families that have gone through tragedy, there's no lower thing that you could do. And at the end of the day, really, I have no patience for it. So when I get comments in my comment section, and I have people who talk to me and say, Duty Ron, this is just ongoing. People just continue to talk about this case. He was sentenced in 2018, 5 life sentences. This is, to me, this is a closed case. It's over with. There's no room for conspiracy theories. There's no room for talking about other people being arrested, because if somebody was going to be arrested as a co-conspirator or anything like that, it already would have been a done deal.
Hello, I am Frank Rzucek. Last summer, on August 13th, 2018, my daughter Shanann Watts and her children were murdered. They were killed by Shannon's husband and the children's father, Chris Watts. I can't possibly describe how painful the last 11 months have been for myself, my wife, and my son, Frankie Jr. And for everyone else who cared so much about Shanann and her children. Just dealing with this type of tragedy is more than a family should bear. But I am making a statement today because for the past 11 months, piled on top of pain and the grieving of this devastating loss, our family has been subject to horribly, cruelly abused, outright bullying, and on a daily basis. I don't want to draw more attention to the viral material that has been posted online. And so I don't want to go into specifics, but I will say that our family, including Shanann and her children and our grandchildren, have been ridiculed, demeaned, slandered, mocked in the most vicious ways you can imagine. We have been subject to false accusations, fake Facebook accounts, hate speeches, and constant stream of ugly, evil insults and attacks. Every time we turn around, there is someone trying to capitalize on our tragedy. By spreading false rumors and outright lies about Shanann and our grandchildren. We have been subject to threats on our lives, all because we are victims in painful tragedy. This is so wrong. It is cruel, it is heartless, it is flat wrong. It breaks my heart to know that we are not the first family to have to live through this kind of tragedy. And we won't be the last. Families like ours should have the right to be safe and the right of a basic level of privacy, the right to mourn in peace. And it boils my blood that my family and other families are dealing with worse imaginable tragedy have to deal with this kind of cruelty and bullying. It needs to stop. To Congress or to any position in power, we are calling on you to do something, to pass laws that will protect victims of unspeakable crimes from this kind of abuse. Our online social media sites like Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, we have contacted you many times, reported this abuse, but no avail. We are calling on you again to do the right thing, to take some responsibility for your platforms and stop this despicable conduct. To the people who feel they are entitled to profit off our loss, we urge you, please stop. And for the people who are interested in this case, who feel compelled to comment and discuss, please stick to the truth. It is painful enough for us to just dealing with the reality. Reading the insane conspiracy theories, ugly false rumors, and lies only make it more painful. Finally, to the people who have stood with us, who have supported us and prayed for us and our family. For Shannon and her grandchildren, we can't thank you enough. God bless you all.
Stunned our community and captured the world's attention. The murder of Shannon Watts and her two daughters. And even though Shannon's husband admitted to the killings, there are people out there who believe he is innocent.
And those conspiracy theorists are using social media to relentlessly attack Shannon's family. Our Dylan Thomas on our top story in Frederick tonight, where the murders happened. Dylan, Shannon's dad says this harassment has made their pain even worse.
Jim, Karen, Frank Rzucek tells me that the cyberbullying around this case has been relentless since the murders about 11 months ago. So bad that he's even gone to law enforcement and lawmakers seeking help, but has had no assistance. So now he's here in Colorado asking CBS 4 viewers to help him stop the trolls.
I can't possibly describe how painful the last 11 months have been.
How does one cope with the murders of their child and grandchildren?
Just dealing with this type of tragedy is more than a family should bear.
Almost 1 year has passed since Chris Watts murdered his pregnant wife in their Frederick home, later killing his own daughters Bella and Cece as well. Since the murder, Shannon's family, led by Father Frank Rzucek, has been under attack.
In the most vicious ways you can imagine.
Intense cyberbullying by fans of the murderer and trolls around the world.
England, Philippines, Australia. It's not fair to these victims. We don't deserve it.
Frank Rzucek wanted to speak with CBS 4 to pressure lawmakers to step up and find a way to limit the attacks trolls make online. His lawyers say calling major social media companies has been useless.
We called Facebook, we called YouTube, we called Twitter.
I shouldn't have to be out here doing this.
The Rzuceks say cyberbullies are making them relive their nightmare daily.
We just try to ignore it, but sometimes you just can't ignore it. Please just stop. Get on with your lives. Leave ours alone.
While many choose to bully, Frank said he tries to cherish those who choose love.
Who have supported us and prayed for us and our family. We can't thank you enough. God bless you all.